Hey, fellow drummers. Just got a little video for you. Uh, this is a bit of a silly one, really. But you know your practice pads, right? This is a d.i.y practice pad I've had for years now. But you can see I've had it got dirty. I drew pictures on it. I've got some aiming targets here for my pupils. I've added a bit of neoprene at the top. So I tend to personalize my pads quite a lot. But the main reason why I drew on this pad is it became filthy. Now, if your pad becomes dirty because you've been hitting a lot, that's great actually. That's a good sign that you've been using it. But the problem is with me, I'm shoving my pad in and out of my teaching case, and it's being used in all sorts of places at schools and stuff. So it's getting all my practice pads become pretty gross after a while. So I was thinking, okay, this one I'm sort of retiring, and I decided to buy myself a nice one. This is the ProLogix Target pad. Brilliant! What a clever idea. So of course I immediately started making it my own. So I put my name on it because that I might leave it at a school and it's not a cheap pad. I also put these little um, rubber feet on so that when it's sitting on a table, this part is not actually touching the table. These feet stand just a bit proud of the pad, and that stops this from being dirty by the table and the other side. This is my favorite side. This is really a soft workout zone with a slightly harder center zone, but I'm not trying to sell this pad to you. I just figured that this pad and most of the pads that I'm likely to use are going to be about this size. They're all 12-inch pads, which I think is a decent size because it fits on a snare drum. Um, and it also gives you a good surface area to work with. But I was thinking, how could I keep this rather expensive pad looking nice, at least for a few more years than it would normally do? I'd like it to be dirty because I'm hitting it, not because I'm shoving it inside my teaching bag the whole time. And this is a 12-inch pad, and I thought, duh. In the loft, I never throw things away. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I have a lot of old drum skins, and in fact, I've got 13-inch tom-tom skins. And a 13-inch tom-tom skin is just a bit bigger than a 12-inch drum pad. So I made this. Now I'm kind of sorry that I didn't take photos of me making this, but I'm just going to explain what I did. You can just go and do it straight away. It took me literally half an hour, and I've got a really neat little drum pad holder. And just to show you how easily things fit in, and then I'll explain exactly how I did it. Here's the pad. It goes, just to make sure, it goes in, and I pull on the strap, and the pad is now securely held in between two halves. So what are the halves? Well, I think many of you have already guessed what I've done. Is these are two old drum skins, 13-inch tom-tom skins, and all I did is I had an old camping carpet for a tent, and it had like a hard wearing outside and then a soft fluffy on the inside. So all I did is I just cut those to size, cut lots of little bits so I could wrap it around. I just glued it on with PVA and put lots of clothes pegs around the edges. And then once that had cured, I put another disc on the inside that covered up the kind of rough edges that had been pulled over onto the inside. So it actually looks pretty neat. And then I was gonna get all fancy with some sort of clip or handle, and I thought, no, this is the best way of doing it. I had this old piece of nylon strapping that I found. It was exactly the right size, and I just poked holes right through. See if you can see that. I poked holes right through the webbing into the into the old tom-tom skin itself using a hot pin that I'd heated up on the stove, on the gas stove, and then I just sewed that there and sewed that there, and repeated the operation on the other side. And then all I've got here is a bit of elastic. See if I can get the angle in there so you can see what I've done with the elastic. It just goes underneath this part. See, that's open there. I'll tell you why I left that open and didn't stick that down. So the elastic just goes underneath there and the loop comes through. So what happens is the bag, to open it, you just pull and that loop closes down. Obviously I don't want to pull it all the way because it's a bit of a filthy job to try and re-thread this. It's not impossible, I've done it once. But there's my pad case. And the pad just goes in there neat as you please. It's exactly the right size, as that shows. And then when you close it and you pull up the strap, it's held shut by gravity, but also just by the elastic. And now you've got this really strong case because you've got the nylon of the two drum skins, really tough stuff. And then you've got the aluminium rims, so no way that's breaking that way. And then you've got the tough camping carpet, so nothing's going to dirty my pad or hurt my pad while it's in transit. And then just by sheer, not by design, I wish I could tell you I was this smart, I realized because this has got a gap there, well, if I'm going to go out and practice in the garden, I can put my sticks in like that. I can put in my trusted, well-worn copy with lots of stuff added to it over the years of that particular book, which I'm sure many of you are super familiar with. That goes in there, and then on the back strap, I can even slide in the old Tamo rhythm watch, and I've got an old wristwatch stuck onto that so that I can practice for specific durations. So that's a nice little thing to be able to carry out into the garden, just like that. And I've got myself a pad case. Now go make one for yourself. Thanks for watching.